Love, light, peace, and blessings from me to you and all the way through. Gonna try to keep this under 10 minutes because for real, in my head, I feel like if I start to go over 10 minutes, then it starts to sound like womp, 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 womp. Also, please bear with me. This is something that I have learned. So, I'm teaching third and fourth grade for the first time, academically at least. I'm used to working with kindergarten and below, and kindergarten and below requires way more physical energy. Third and fourth graders require a lot of mental energy, and so I feel like they suck all my mental agility so that by the time I come here and try to make a video, I'll be like, I'm not making much sense. I can't even find words. I can't finish sentences. Bear with me. So, time for show and tell. This is called Duck in the Truck. And this is about a nice duck driving his nice shiny red truck along his divine path, having a merry good old time until he hits an trashy experience in the form of a rock. And that sends him catapulting forward and digging his shiny red truck deep into the muck to the point where he just cannot get out and continue along his divine journey. Can you relate? Can you relate to being in a place in your life where you know you have all these goals and these tasks that you want to accomplish, but just can't seem to find the energy or the motivation or the willpower to navigate forward into meeting these goals? Being stuck in the rut, muck, or rut is just having this overwhelming feeling of standing still, especially when you know there's so much more you could be doing with that time rather than just standing still. Being stuck in the muck can make you feel like you're tired, you're fatigued, you have little to no energy to meet any of your daily obligations. It takes a lot out of you to perform simple tasks. You might exhibit symptoms of stress, of anxiety, of depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, if you want to get technical, clinical with it. Being stuck in the muck is just this overwhelming feeling of being weighed down to the point where you cannot navigate forward and progress along your divine path. That's being stuck in the muck. And we've probably all been there. And I'm not talking about that lazy Saturday or Sunday where you just decide, I'm going to skip church today and kick the feet up. This is like a prolonged period of time. Sometimes you recognize what's causing it, what the source of this feeling is, and sometimes you may not. So I tend to think that when one has these feelings, it is a direct result of trashy experiences. Okay? When we deal with trash, it can attach to us and literally weigh us down. And so when we have trashy thoughts, okay, you got to be careful what you think. Because I feel like trashy thoughts are way more potent than trashy people, trashy places, or trashy experiences, etc., etc. The trashy thoughts that are self-inflicted, whoa. And so they come in the form of fear, of worry, of doubt, low self-esteem, ill intentions for you, yourself, malice, hate, revenge, anger. Ugh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's stank. Y'all got some trashy thoughts? Because I smelled something real quick. That got to go. Also, exposure to trashy people and places. Okay, anyone that's exhibiting negative energy or negative behavior, that stuff can attach to you. And so we talked about ways to identify trashy behavior in people, because once you identify it, it's got to be taken out or well contained. All right. But even though you do take it out or contain it, there's residue left over. And so that's when it's necessary to clean. And we'll talk about a form of cleaning later on in this video. So now we know how how one can get stuck in the muck. We need to figure out how to fix it. All right, and that's where your team definitely comes in. But your team has not abandoned you when you're stuck in the muck. It's not like your team was like, "Ooh, girl, we don't do mud. You on your own, boo-boo." No, your team ain't like that. Your team is still there. They're still working for you. It's just that they're limited in what they can do because you are clouded in negative energy, in trash. Okay, so how much good can get to you if you have piles and piles and piles of trash around you? You know? So, we as humans are born of free will and the ability to make choices and decisions. Okay? And so our team can only do what we allow them to do in the form of the choices that we make. But trust and believe that your team is more than willing to help pull you out of this rut. They can definitely do that, but you have to allow them to do that. And that's where the cleaning comes in. That's where cleansing your space comes in, to allow them to do this work. So, one of the ways that I'm going to talk to you about cleaning on the surface is movement. Movement is an excellent form of just stirring up and shaking up the energy pockets around you. Okay, so when you have been exposed to these trashy energies and you've opened up the channels, you've given a glossy invitation for negative energy to come in and keep you grounded in this muck, what happens is that team, that negative spiritual force, they come in and they adapt to your environment, and that's what's keeping you staying still. And so movement breaks that up. It shakes it up a little bit because then it doesn't really know how to react and respond. Plus, you're opening up the channels for the positive energy forces to come in by movement and breaking that up. You're allowing the good to come in and the bad to come out. Now, think of it like this, okay? And I might struggle on this analogy, but I'm just going to go for it. So, aren't there like certain vaccines that don't work because they've learned how to adapt to a specific strand or a specific virus? That's how the negative energy forces work. They've adapted to your routines, they've adapted to your environment, and they figured out a way to keep you feeling sick. Okay, so that's why introducing some sort of movement will break that element up. So I'll give you an example of how movement really pulled me out of this deep muck that I was stuck in. My team saw that I needed help. I couldn't figure out what was causing me to feel this way. I had everything to be grateful for. I couldn't understand why I was sad, what was causing me to be sad. I didn't even know what I was sad about. I just knew that I could not get out of bed. I just knew that I had all these goals that I wanted to achieve or approach for the day. But just the initial thought of just getting started took so much energy out of me that actually even doing the first step in meeting this goal was so far over there. I mean, I really just I couldn't figure it out. Oh my God, that was horrible. The team was like, okay, Think Nappy, we hear you. Because I recognized it. Like, I knew, God, I just feel heavy. Like, if I could just lift whatever's heavy on me, there's so much that I can do. The team heard me. They literally put movement in my mailbox. And so that's how I got introduced to salsa dancing. It literally fell in my mailbox. So, salsa dancing also had another like personal touch to me too, because my team is so good to me. It's like they pulled me out of the rut, but then they gave me like a trophy for doing so. So I got this opportunity to salsa dance out of nowhere. Never had any experience with it. It was all new to me, but it was something that I was always interested in. Now, although salsa dancing is a traditionally a Latin form of dance, its roots are embedded in Africa. And so a lot of the movements that you'll see in salsa dance um, definitely resemble a lot of the indigenous type of tribal dance that you'll find in Africa. And so when I engaged in this salsa dance, unknowingly, I was feeding my ancestral spirit component. All right, by me doing some of these movements that are really, really reflective of the African traditional African movements. I was feeding, I was giving them a home cooked, down south, grandma style type of meal, Sunday dinner. I wasn't giving them no fast food. My soul got like fed. And from that, I was just rewarded with so much more. Something as little as salsa dancing took me places I would never imagine. It actually like progressed me so much further on my divine path with a beautiful black backdrop to accompany this journey. So that's why I just want to give that example of how movement, me doing something different, doing something strange for a change. If you don't know how to incorporate some form of movement in cleaning and clearing your energy pocket, do something different, because remember, those negative forces have adapted to your comfort zone. And so sometimes you have to shake it out. You have to shake it up and really try something strange for a change. But movement, any type of form of dance, yoga's really good because yoga feeds the chakras. I'm not into yoga. One day I will be. I have to be, but I ain't right. That's not my thing right now. But if you're into it, yoga's a really good way to kind of shake up the energy around you in a positive way. Taking a walk, going for a jog, um, just putting yourself in a different space, a different place, a different environment, shaking it up with some form of movement. Now, I do like to leave you with, oh my God, it's 13 minutes. I do like to leave you with baby steps. So, one baby step that you can do, I'm already doing one, but one of the baby steps that you can do to shake, to just stir up your energy field is this simple movement. Okay? This literally is gathering all the negative energy and sweeping it away. So with that motion, you also have to give it the intention, the intent. You have to give it a verbal intent. So you can just say to yourself, oh, just get rid of this negative energy. However you're feeling, whatever you want this motion to do. Oh, remove this negative thought. Oh, I don't like this feeling that I have. Just shake this energy up. If you do that for so long, you'll start to feel, if you can definitely feel something. I can't do it for too long because then I'll start to go buck wild up in here, and y'all not trying to see that part of that be that's right now. But that's a baby step that you can do. Give it intention. If you have a little bit of water, because water is a cleansing agent, some water on your hands, take it away. And then once it's gone, it's gone. Don't harbor on it. Understand that the team took it. They're like, oh, quarterback, out. Touchdown. Right? Let them go. Run with it. Dang, y'all, that's 14 minutes. Well, hopefully I gave you one good idea to help you on the road to recovery if you find that you are, in fact, stuck in the muck.